welcome back to a Rumple video. Today I thought I'd discuss my Siths, how they're set up, where I'm using them, how I'm surviving in the game at this moment as a Sith, and maybe briefly go over the rest of my tunes and how they're set up and modded. You can still have fun being a Sith. That's why I'm still a Sith. To this day, playing the game on a daily basis, the majority of my game playing is a Sith. You can see right here in the arena. I'm in 33rd, and that's current. That Thrawn, Sass, synergy with Savage, with Nihi, oh man, it is incredible. So the arena, even though I'm not in the top 10, I am in the 50s, in 30s, and I climb to the teens, so it's that enjoyable. If you gotta have first, yes, being a Sith now is very, very hard. The Hpit, I do it as a Sith, right there as you can see, and an Empire. Not only am I enjoying it being a Sith in the arena, I'm enjoying it in the pit, right there. Solo it as a team. In Territory Wars, we're using our Sith, making walls with them. These walls do very well. And I feel in the near future I'll be back in that top 10 with Siths. So anyways, let's get to my Siths. As you can see, I've got everybody geared 12 except Vader. We'll just go ahead and start on Vader. He's not geared 12 because I do not use him anywhere else but the pit. Except for making him geared 12 because it's fun time and it's something you want. Because it is the month of February, I'm waiting to see what comes out. If he gets a rework or a Zeta, he's ready for gear 12 and I'll be rock starring on. If he is not getting a rework or a Zeta, then I have all this gear ready if another Sith comes out. If another Sith does not come out, well, then I've got all this gear just stockpiled waiting for something. Since I enjoy being a Sith and I want to play as a Sith, this is how I play the game for me. So I'm holding off. Okay, anyways, back to Vader. I use him in the pit. He works great as gear 11. He can solo through the whole thing. I have him at a moderate speed of 200. It is tough getting him up over that. You can get him around 220, but usually when I'm running Sass, I don't have to worry about his speed so much. 2500 damage, 34 armor, 24 resist. And these are not the best mods for a Vader. He's got a 4-star right here. So, and it's an offense. But just giving you a basic setup of how I'm running him. He's in the pit. And that's that. It's the only place I'm using him. I haven't even been using him in TB. But if the rework comes out, he is ready. So that's my Vader. I guess I'll just go ahead and start on Nihi and work my way down. Nihi is in my arena team. What is my arena team at the moment? Well, I'll show you real quick. I'm in 37th at the moment. That is my arena team. So it does consist of 3 Siths. If Kylo was a Sith, it'd be 4. Fortunately, he's not, but he does carry a red saber. And then Thrawn. Thrawn added much punch to my Sith team. So that is why. That is where Nihi is being used. No, he's not a leader. Savage is my leader. How do I have Nihi set up? Of course, all maxed. 2 Zetas. 212. 58k protection. You don't worry about damage on Nihi. He does good anyways. 31 armor. 21 resist. They're fairly low. Tenacity there. Protection. I don't worry about a lot of offensive on him. He tanks really well like that. And that's how I have my Nihi set up. I use him. Territory War, of course. Territory Battle. And of course, Savage. He is a leader on my arena team now. He does get me down into the teens. If I do switch to a Nihi lead, I cannot climb. I get destroyed. That's just the way the arena... With Han on a team, under a CLS lead, Han destroys me if I do not have a Savage lead. Of course, I'll max. Make him a Savage. Believe it or not, no primary 30 speed. It's health. With a high secondary defense, as you can see there. Health. With a high secondary defense. And a defense is primary with a defense there. I was thinking of health there, but he does need some defense as well. Primary health. I don't have any secondary defense there. I am considering doing that. But at the moment, 33k health. Not so worried about the protection or speed because he gets turn meter when he gets damaged. Don't care about his speed so much. 40k armor, 40% armor, almost 30% resist. He is working flawlessly as my leader right now. Defense, high secondary defense. High secondary defense. And my Savage is using Territory Wars as well. Being a Sith, you can have fun in this game. At the current moment, getting into the top 10 is very, very hard. You have to sacrifice your PvP to enjoy your game at the moment. We will see what February brings. I'm even using Maul. When I'm battling raid teams, I can beat certain raid teams with a Maul lead. This is how I'm set up. And you can see everybody already has mods on as well. That way I can just switch between players when needed. It's a very key thing to have your mods already set up. Very low speed. It's very hard to make Maul fast. And when I do make him fast, he loses a lot of his damage, which is 3k, in his armor. 36%, 24% resist. That is fairly high for a Zal. Very low protection, very low health. If anybody needs a rework, it's him as well. You can see I've got a defense there. Got a defense there. I did put a 30 speed on him. It's because he is slow. I needed some type of speed. High secondary defense. High secondary defense. The one place I'm using him is when I have to battle a raid team. As a leader, he does work. I have vids on that as well. You can check it out. Maul also works really well in Galactic War. That's the other place I'm using him. Dooku. Dooku gets used in Territory War. Sometimes in the arena. I don't have him at great speed right now as I'm not using him everywhere. But I do have him set up to where I can run with him. 255 speed. It's fairly fast enough. If I decide to throw him in the arena, I have to change mods. His mod set is currently on Thrawn. There's no great mods here. They're as fast as I can get him with having mods on all my other players. Like I said, I try to have mods on everybody so I can just flip and go on the go. Lots of defense on him. It does help. Especially if he's not under a Nihi lead. 28 armor, 22 resist. That is fairly well for a Dooku. But like I said, I can do better mods. This video is to show you I have mods on everybody. That way I can just switch on the fly and not have to worry about switching mods. It is such a pain. Sidious. He is using the Hpit under my Vader lead. The one place I am using Sidious. He was a fun time Gear 12 because really I don't use him anywhere else. Now, if new Sith leaders come out, new Sith players come out, you never know. Sidious does have a role in here. His exposes are great, but he is spongy. But in the Hpit, he survives all the way through, and he is a moderate 238 speed. Nothing fancy, but I'm using him in the Hpit once again. Potency. With his Zeta, he's got almost 100% potency. 31% armor, very low resist. But he's not on an arena team. And maybe in territory wars sometime. Crit damn. Because under a Zeta lead, you can get critical. And offense. So I want him to have a little more punch. Is getting me through the Hpit. And that's basically how I have my Sidious set up. He was a fun time. Gear 12 and Zeta. The Zeta did help in the Hpit. It does. Without the Zeta, he is pretty much crap. You will need that Zeta to enjoy him more in the Hpit. And I showed you my Vader already. Palp. Now, believe it or not, Palp's on my arena teams I showed you. I love my Palp. He is great. The stuns, the shocks, they work well. But being so spongy, even under a Savage lead, he gets crushed. And I'm losing, even with those 2 Gear 12 pieces. Yes, of course, maxed everywhere. He just gets crushed. And sometimes I start a battle in arena, he's already dead. So, Savage, Thrawn replaced my Palp. And it was a good replacement. As you can see, there's no speed on Palp. I'll use him in territory war, territory battle, of course. That's it. I've been using him anywhere, and he is sitting. Gear 12. 2 pieces of gear 12 on him already. If he gets a rework, he is ready to go. That is the key thing right here. Ready. 30 speed, a defense. A tenacity in that with a high secondary defense. A high secondary defense there. Now, no secondary defense there as I have moved mods around. And another high secondary defense there. Because he is just kind of sitting. I do have this mod set up on him. It works great when I do decide. He works great in Galactic War. A Nihi lead with Dooku, Sass, and Palp, they just crush in Galactic War, so that's where I'm using him. 33 resist. He has a very high resist. A very low armor. So my Palp is sitting and waiting to see if we get a rework. If he does, once again, you can see the Gear 12. 2 pieces of Gear 12 on him already. He will be ready. Now, I didn't find any need to use this, so that's just 1 piece of Gear 12 I gotta work on. There's my Palp. Now my Sith Trooper, when I switch to a Zal lead to battle Rays, sometimes I will switch to a Sith Trooper. He has 3 pieces of Gear 12 on him. I was using Sith Trooper before I had Kylo. If you do not have a Kylo Ren unmasked, he is a great tank. You can see I'm missing that top corner up there. It is a defense mod. Well, it's a speed mod with a primary defense. I've been taking it out. All maxed. All 3 Gear 12 pieces. Like I said, great tank. If you don't have a Kylo Ren, use him on your Sith team. He will work. You don't need any speed. 52k protection. And if I had a primary defense, let me see. Here we go. He goes up in speed a little. That has, yeah, the speed bonus. Plus a 4 secondary speed. A defense there. And a defense there. Now, these are not my best primary defensive mods, as Kylo is my taunt in the arena. I'll go ahead and confirm that. Now he's got a mod. If I want to switch out, or I can use 2 taunts. I have put Sith Trooper in with my Kylo Ren unmasked for overnight, and they will hold pretty well in arena with both of them on the team together. They don't climb very well because there's not a lot of punch, but they hold. 43 armor, 35 resist. So, he's ready to go. I can switch to him. I have him and Kylo Ren unmasked on the same team for overnight. And in Territory Wars. He's a great tank for Territory Wars under Azal. Last but not least, my Sith Assassin. She is as fast as I've got her right now. Maxed, Gear 12, and can take 2 Gear 12 pieces. Now, as you've noticed, I haven't done anything with those Gear 12 pieces. I'm waiting to see who comes out this month. And I may hold on to him even longer just to see. 267 speed. Still trying to hit that 270 range. But she is working great at this speed, especially with Thrawn. Oh, my Thrawn is 264 speed. I will go show him real quick. He's not a Sith, but I'll show you his mods. Not very high protection or health because she stays stealth, so it's not too much of a big deal. And a high tenacity. 28 armor, very low resist. But she's always stealth. It's not such a big key for her. 30 speed with secondary, 7 defense. High secondary defense with 12 speed. 15 speed, no secondary defense. Having her fast is more important than having her defense. 13 speed. That is my fastest diamond mod, is a speed. Very hard to get. 16 speed with a tenacity. 15 speed and secondary with a 6 defense. You are more concerned about your sass being fast than you are any defense. She is your turn meter controller. She does stun. So there are many reasons why you want her fast. Electrocute. You want to use that. The Dark Shroud is the main important for her speed. TM control. So there's how I have my Sith set up. Let me go look at Thrawn real quick because he is on my arena team. He's also on my HAAT team. You can see. Very important arena team right now. And at this speed, right, he is also Zated on the EBB and flow. I don't worry about his leader or Bill. Having him on max does help. 264 speed. That is rocking for a Thrawn. I can get 3 or 4 fractures in a battle, and that helps. Plus, having him at that speed. His Grand Admiral's command. Man, you are giving TM and bonus protection to people. So, now he does... They come out of their fracture faster because of his speed. But he fractures again. 51k protection. 32 armor. 24 resist. I'm just telling you. He works super great at this high speed. 30 speed. 9 speed with a secondary 8 defense. Protection primary with 14 speed secondary. Protection primary with a 16 speed primary. Secondary. 19 speed, my fastest secondary speed mod. And 11 speed, 18 defense. At the moment, he is a key component on my arena Sith team. Even though he's not a Sith, the Sith lead team. Thrawn, very crucial. Okay, and my Kylo. I'm going to show him because... Well, he is on the Sith team, like Thrawn. He goes everywhere my Siths go. And basically is a Sith, kind of like Thrawn. No, but really, I got him set up. Of course, Scarred is Zated. And, of course, I want this maxed. But I've been putting it off. Because every time I needed gold mat, I needed gold mats from my Phoenix team to get Thrawn. And I needed gold mats here. And I needed gold mats on, oh yes, I Zated COS for that HAA team. Believe me, that almost made me puke. But I do have a Zated COS. I do have a Zated Zentress too, but she carries red sabers. So anyways, this will be a future upgrade. It is going to happen. but he's been doing well without it. Along with his basic. He's been doing well without this. I've been thinking a third round of tenacity down would work great, but he's been doing great without it. But yes, sooner or later he's going to get that upgrade. And yes, he has a piece of gear 12 on him as well. That health steal. What are his stats? %15 health steal because of that little bad boy. It helps. Not super amount of health or protection, but 50% tenacity helps block the detrimental effects. 43% armor, 34 resist. And he's a little faster now than I was having him around 188, 190 or something like that. He was sitting just too much. You want to take advantage of those stuns. His basic stun. Anyway, let me go through his mods. I'll talk about that in a second. A good secondary 9 defense and primary 30. Secondary 19 defense. Why I like these tenacity and speed mods, I get good secondary defenses out of them. Primary of defense with a secondary of defense. No speed here. I was more concerned with more defense on him being my tank. Secondary high 17 defense with a 9 speed. A primary defense with a secondary of high defense 15. No speed. Kylo, unlike Sass, I'm wanting more defense, so I lost the speed. I would have loved to have this primary status of protection, but that 25 defense in the secondary, it trumps that. So I went with that dumb health up there, but I would love to have that primary protection. He's working very good at this speed, especially with when you have a Thrawn and a Sass on your team. They're both granting TM, and they're both fast, as you've seen, 264, 267. So I can get his Hulk. A cooldown of 3 does not feel like a cooldown of 3 with Sass and Thrawn on my team. He stuns for 2 rounds much more than normal with those 2 on your team. And look forward to a vid coming out. I'm going to talk about that synergy between Sass and Thrawn. It is a remarkable synergy between the 2. Well, this is my Kylo and how I've got him set up. And I've got a vid coming out on this HAAT team for you real soon. Like I said, at the moment, I'm still learning them. I can do 30% of Phase 2. And anywhere from 50% on in Phase 3. BB-8 is 262 speed. Thrawn is 264. Ventress around 200. But I'll get into that in a video covering this. To show you can do 12 million with only this setup right here. Anyways, back to my Sith. So, what is needed for Sith? A new leader ability could sure help. With a 30 speed for sure. A rework on Vader and Palp with Zeta could really help. Something countering a hand. Something countering the rays. So, a leader ability for sure, definitely. Reworks on Palp and Vader could help. A 30 speed with something countering hand. And the ray leads for sure. The Savage lead does battle against CLS very well. I've got vids on that. You can check it out. I am able to climb. At the moment, I can get into the teens, and that's about as high as I am climbing. The first time is me playing in a Sith in over a year have I been stuck back in the teens. It is because we need some Siths. I've got nothing in the Sith team in over a year. So being a Sith for a whole year, I've been able to get into the teens, is still kind of cool. I'm happy with it. That's what we need, a new leader build. The Nihi leader build is just because the teams are so mixed. The CLS lead with a Thrawn, with a Han, with a GK. They're so mixed, it's not all rebels. That is what the Savage lead is working for. When a Han hits me, that 100%. Sith allies getting 75% defense and 30% tenacity. Other allies gain half that. So my Kylo Ren gets half that. My Thrawn is getting half that. It helps. And my Siths are getting all that. The battles take longer and they are a little slower, but I survive and I win and I can climb. The Sith need many things. Zal needs rework. He's just too slow. If you were to take leader builds from Savage, Nihi, and Pout and put them together with a 30 speed, well, then I could counter most things that are going on. They're Siths. They should be tougher than they are. And as the game progresses, the Sith need to progress with them because, well, they are the bad guys of Star Wars. So something like that is what they need. We will sure see. Watching. If you made it to this whole long video, have a good day.